To see everybody again. Welcome to Central Valley Talk. I'm Austin Reed. It is April the 28th. May is coming up. Hopefully you're having a good Wednesday so far. I am Austin Reed. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We're going to be live and local until right around 4 o'clock this afternoon, so make sure you stay with us. We're going to get to our first guest in just a second, but I got to talk about our weather because things are changing. This forecast just out from the National Weather Service. Today, we're going to see a high of right around 84 degrees. It's sunny. It's going to be beautiful. Tonight, clear, overnight low 56, but we are in store for a warm-up, and that's why I wanted to tell you this. Thursday, tomorrow, 93 and sunny. Friday, 96 and sunny, and then Saturday, 90. But then by Sunday, we kind of cool back down, highs in the mid-80s again. So get ready for a warm-up for at least the next couple of days. My first guest joining us live in our Tower District studios here at Central Valley Talk is Myles Smith. Hi, Myles. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sorry.
Yeah, I know. It's already the afternoon hour, right after lunch, and you've been on Central Valley Talk before. This is your second time.
Yes, sir.
My first time interviewing you, you were back with us, I think, in December?
Yes.
So welcome back. Thank you so much. I got to be honest, when you and your dad walked in, I saw them just out of the corner of my eye real quick, and I was like, man, they are looking sharp. And I was going to only just wear a shirt and jacket today, but I was like, okay, I got to step up my game. So I've got the handkerchief, and I put on a tie, but you're looking nice and dandy. Now, you are kind of a fashion consultant, but you do other things within fashion here in the Central Valley, is that right?
Yes, sir. So pretty much what I do is also with fashion consultancy, but also what I do is I sell any sort of dress suits or linen suits for the summer in this warm weather that we have here in the Central Valley. I also do sell dress shoes, dress socks, normal dress ties, bow ties, and all those sorts of things.
You've got a super cool website. We're looking at it right now, knottandtie.com.
Yes.
And here's the thing, everybody. How old are you?
I'm 17 years old.
17 years old. That is amazing. Wow. And now, when did you start really getting into this?
So when I really started to get into this was actually when I had the conversation with my dad in about February of 2018 when I was deciding to take over his business and turn it into my own, which is what you guys see now.
Yeah.
So he told me in order for me to take over, I had to go to my first fashion show in Vegas. So after we had that conversation, the next week we booked tickets and flew over to Vegas, and I ended up learning what I had to do in order to take over and all of that.
Very cool. So it runs in the family.
Yes, sir.
So I want to talk about, like you said, I love what you were talking about, summer is coming up, and that's what, this interview, we're focusing on that. Now, for men, it's a little harder to stay cool compared to women in the summer. But what are some of the ways?
So for some of the ways, I'm actually thinking of extending our line out to activewear. So we would have sweats, shorts, any sort of active T-shirts that would be tight to the skin, but also loose enough for them to be able to breathe. And also what I've already been selling would be what's called linen suits. Okay. And so what those are pretty much very close to silk that are actually very thin and breathable. You can wear them like a suit, but it's just not as much layers as a normal 3-piece or 2-piece.
Wow, that's a great idea. And now your jacket, that is a really cool jacket. Talk about that.
Oh, so this sports coat I actually found from one of the distributors at least 2 years ago. I bought it to where I would grow into it because they did a lot of sizes that weren't meant for me when I was that young of an age. But it was pretty much this nice knitted fashion that I actually really, really liked, but I would just never wear it because my arms could never fit through the sleeves. Yeah.
Things are changing now.
Yes.
Also, is it good to wear jackets that are not black, are not a dark blue?
I actually think yes. For me, I actually like to show a sense of fashion and nothing that would be too formal and old school. I like to bring sort of a new kind of fashion to for all men to be able to wear, and hopefully soon women when the time comes. But I like a lot of things like this, any sort of tan. We have lighter blues, and there's also like lighter blacks. We also do have grays in the dark and light colors. Also, there's like a couple burgundies too.
You know, it's so funny. You look at like presidents, right? And, you know, Biden, he's always in a black jacket, or Trump was always in a black or blue jacket. But can't that change?
Of course, it can always change. There's always sports coats and regular dress coats that you could wear with suits. There's tuxedos, but you really don't really wear those towards like formal gatherings and stuff like that. But you can always put some sort of change into fashion when you put your mind to it.
You know, the other thing that I feel like that's coming back is a 30s, 40s look for men, right? Whether it's a fedora, which I cannot do. I'm terrified of it. I've done it in my home, looking at my mirror, and that's it. But, you know, and then, you know, like vests. Are you seeing more of that?
So I'm seeing more of the vests and hats. Actually, I am not the person to wear hats. My dad does. Typically, they wouldn't fit because of my hair and my head. It's a little bit too big.
Yeah. No, I just and I've got kind of a small face, so I'm like I can't rock
definitely.
it. But I know some men that rock it and look great in it. And then as far as, you know, what I think we've seen in the last, say, just 10 years, we've seen more of a dress down for men. You know, they're not wearing the tie. They're not even wearing a jacket, just a nice shirt. You know, back 100 years ago, that was not the case.
Definitely.
But I have noticed in, say, even the last, well, not during the pandemic because everybody was home, but before that, and then as we're going into 2021, I feel like I'm seeing more men dressed a little bit more upscale now. So is it coming back?
I actually believe that it is coming back ever since we're coming out of COVID and getting more back into the business era and the working world. So for me, I always prefer to be overly dressed rather than be underdressed.
Well, and doesn't it say a lot? I mean, first impressions are everything.
Definitely.
So, you know, even for men that are watching today and they're like, oh, well, no, I don't need to wear a jacket. I don't need to, you know, wear nice pants. Think again. And try something new, right?
Of course, it's always about the first impression. And if you don't like it the first time, then you can always find other things. Like, for example, the linen suits or something like that. There are also jeans that you can wear that are actually some form of dress pants.
So in your profession at 17 years old, that's awesome. By the way, I started in broadcasting when I was professionally at 17 years old. So, but you know, where was I going with that? And I just totally spaced it. But gosh, I can't remember what I was going to say. It'll come back to me. But going back to, oh yeah, I remember the question. I'm so sorry. I was thinking of myself as a 17-year-old reporter in Portland, Oregon. That's what I got distracted with. But this is for what you do, I would imagine a lot of research, a lot of artistic and creative thoughts and processes that you go through, right?
Yeah, definitely it would be a lot of thinking and processing into it. So at my high school, this is actually my fourth and final year as a senior, but I was a part of what's called the Business and Finance Academy. So that really got me to get a really good head start on what most people wouldn't have a head start onto with college, onto how supply and demand works with the public and how the economy works with all that kind of stuff. So I did get to understand that first, which my dad found that was the hardest part. But seeing that I learned that first, I was able to pick up quickly on the suit fashion and how certain springs would be relevant for that era. Let's say winter, you would wear more warm things. So let's say 3 pieces. For the spring area, you could possibly take off the jacket or take off the vest. You could do certain things like that. And for the summertime, I didn't know linen suits actually existed until we went to the fashion show. And so I thought, oh, wow, we definitely need that down here in the Central Valley. That's something that's always been needed, because I know that bringing places where I'd have to wear a full suit in 100-degree weather is definitely not the move.
No, no, it's not. And honestly, I didn't even think of that, until interviewing you today about the colors. Makes a big difference. The other thing that I'm seeing too, I've got a lot of friends that are news anchors and reporters for the networks across the country, and I'm seeing even them wearing pattern jackets. You brought up the maroon. I'm seeing that more. So it's kind of exciting to see where we're going.
It's definitely a very big step in the future towards the abstract colors. I really like things that would make you stand out. As you can see, I'm not the kind of person that likes to go with the flow.
Yeah.
So I definitely like to make myself known when I appear for some sort of formal business attire.
Exactly. Real quick, we're running out of time, but shoes. I love your shoes. You've got the brown dress shoes.
Yes.
And that's another thing I'm seeing more of is men. See, and I actually redid my shoe lineup about 6 months ago. So I bought like some nice blue dress shoes, a gray, I got a brown, and of course black, but I think you can mix it up.
Definitely you can mix it up. And with a lot of the shoes that I get that come from the LA district and the distributors down there, they are producing a lot more variety of certain types of shoes. And I am actually really loving it because I'm always looking out for the more out the box. There were checker designed shoes with brown and white. I loved those shoes, but I grew out of them, and I was very, very upset to let those go. Those were like my go-to when I ever had to wear anything light. And there's also the suede. There's also very shiny leather. You could also have the maroon shoes to match your maroon jacket. All these kinds of things are what gets me excited to be able to talk about fashion.
So can somebody, just give you a call or connect with you on social media and say, hey, Myles, I have a question about this. What do you think about this? Is that an option?
Yeah, that's definitely absolutely possible. You guys can contact me on any sort of social media that I have below on Facebook and Instagram. Also, I would have the phone number down for the store that I am supplying with Vintage Me, which is right down the street.
Oh, yeah. They
guys
come on our
can-
show all the time.
Yeah, definitely. You guys can definitely leave a message there and leave somewhere for me to contact you, and I'd be definitely able and happy to be able to give you some sort of inspiration or information on anything that you guys would like to talk about.
Now, you're only 17 now. Where do you see yourself in 10 years from now?
In 10 years, I definitely still want to have Knott and Tie in my back pocket. Currently, I have accepted and fully committed to going to the University of San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
Majoring in management and minoring in business analytics. So hopefully by that time, I would have finished graduate school and found my way to a nice job while still having the experience to be able to produce this business at the same time.
Very good. All right, Myles. Well, great to meet you. You are a very cool young man, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Come back on Central Valley Talk anytime, too.
Definitely will.
All right. Myles Smith, check it out, everybody. CEO of Knott and Tie. I was just a news anchor at 17. This guy's a CEO. My goodness. Thanks for joining us for Central Valley Talk. We're back with another live local guest coming up in just a bit. Don't go anywhere.